1, sling.
Welcome to another episode of
Business Bros.
Yeah,
I love that.
Always love it when the guests hop on. And
I'm
do
in.
that,
I'm
right?
in. I'm a business bro.
Some get shy.
No.
Yeah, dude. No, believe me, it happens. You ever meet some of those people who are like really talkative?
Yeah.
Well, those people, you get them behind the mic, and all of a sudden they're like
Clam up.
Yeah.
All of a
I
sudden.
don't know what to say.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say.
I do see that. I see that out there a lot. It's like, dude, you talk all day long, and then you put a mic in their face, and it's just silence.
Silence.
It's amazing to me, really.
Yeah.
By the way, the guy who's talking, Jason Cassity.
What's up?
Yeah,
Special guest today.
Special guest today. And, I was doing my little bit of research that I do before the podcast interview, and I was like, man, I got a little celebrity on the show. He's humble.
That.
He's humble. He ain't going to say nothing, but...
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, you're at the top of your game right now, man. You've been grinding for quite some time now.
I'm trying, yeah, man. Yeah, this is it's my 6th year in the business, and growing to finally put together a team now. And it seems like things are going really well, but so much more to go.
Oh, dude. Yeah,
Tell us a little bit about your team, your brokerage. Tell us about what you do and where you come from.
Yeah, we want your origin story, dude.
The origin story. So,
everybody sees Jason Cassity right now at the top of his game, but where did you come from?
Yeah.
How'd you hop on the scene?
But also, let's be honest. The best Iron Man movie is the first one because origin stories.
Origin stories are the best, right?
For sure.
Yeah,
So what's yours?
So that's funny you mentioned that. So I came out to San Diego about 2010. I'm from Sacramento, born and raised in Northern California. Moved down here when I was about 24. I managed a Wells Fargo bank for a couple years. That's why I moved here. As a branch manager, I hated it.
That's funny, man. I'm a Wells Fargo guy too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a branch manager. I hated it. I wanted to get into finance, and then somebody along the way told me, you're a people person. You should be a branch manager.
Yeah, of course. That's the natural progression, right?
I got in there, and I hated it. It sucked. And so basically, I was glorified babysitting to a certain extent. I mean, I do, I love my team and stuff like that, but it was, you're just kind of, you're not an individual producer anymore. You're just, worried about, kind of just coming in there and just running the store and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It just wasn't my thing.
Right.
And so all the times I would find myself, dreaming about what it is I could do to not only, make more money, but also have a little bit more freedom in my schedule, be more of an entrepreneur. I had that bone in my body, and real estate was the natural progression of that. So I got my license, and actually I interned. So I interned for about 6 months while getting my license with a boutique, like a family shop down here in downtown San Diego. Mm-hmm. And then I ended up working there for about 2 years doing some property management and real estate. And then year 3, I switched to another family brokerage. And started growing my business, started getting some deals under my belt, doing, 15, 20 deals a year. So actually putting some numbers on the board. And then this last year, our team just moved over and we were, partnered up and acquired by Compass. So, and now we're on to big things.
Dude, let me drill down a little bit on what you said. Cause a lot of agents that we talk to are usually newer in the game. Most people don't know, but we have an insurance company, and one of our partners is actually the owner of Micros Financial Training Center. So they do a lot of licensing for new agents, mm-hmm. right? And so we get to talk to a lot of people who are just about to get in the game. And anytime I talk to a top producing agent, you guys tend to have something in common that you kind of overlook. And that's when you got into the game, you interned, right? You got in and you followed somebody who had already been successful. And that's kind of one of those little things that gets overlooked. Like I teach part-time at East Lake High, mm-hmm. right? I teach a class called Financial Algebra. And one of the things that I preach to them is go out and use this time to mentor with somebody, whatever it is you want to do. I don't care what it is you want to do. Go out and mentor them. Gary Vee says a lot of the same thing, right? Yeah. Dude, go be an intern 100%. In whatever it is that you're going to do, because that's who you want to be, and they're already successful at it. They're going to, everything that you learn in osmosis just by being around successful 100%. People is huge. There is no price tag on that.
Big time. There's one of the biggest missteps I see new agents come in doing. They're really focused on their split, or what can you do for me right out of the gate? And you know what I mean? It's they're going to choose some brokerage because they're going to get 70-30 on their split instead of another brokerage where they would have mentorship out 50-50.
Right.
But it's like 100% of nothing's still nothing. You know what I mean? So it's like
simple math, right?
Simple math. If you can get in on a 50-50 split with a top producer and do 20 deals your first year, you're going to be in a much more advantageous position than being on a 100% split but only doing 2 deals.
Right.
Because that's kind of how your natural progression goes when you start, is you don't have a lot of clients. So it's looking back, I would say that the best thing you could possibly do is to get onto a high performing team or under a good mentor. can you swear on this podcast?
Yeah, go for it.
Fuck a split. Like, that's what I'm saying. Do not worry about your split initially, because in those early years, all you need to be doing is transactional
Absolutely.
equity. You're building your clients, you're getting reviews, you're building past clients, you're getting referrals. That's it. And I would go back and do it again. I would probably even be willing to take no split, way less split, work at 20% split to go work under the biggest names in San Diego. I probably would have been further than where I am now.
Yeah, just the networking connections alone, the doors that are open because you've stepped foot in the industry, you've walked in the shadow of the giants. Like, there's something to be said about that for sure.
Yep.
I mean, there's no way that you can be. I mean, you can reinvent the wheel.
Sure.
Right. Sure, you can.
Yeah.
But why?
80% or like 87% of agents don't make it through the first 2 years. That's just the raw stats from NAR. It's because they try to go at it alone and they're worried about the split, and then they end up doing 2 deals, and you can't make a living on 20 grand a year or whatever that ends up being. You need to do 10 plus deals to really get the financial kind of like under your belt. And to do that in your first couple of years, you're going to have to be on a team.
Yeah, I like stats because you throw out a stat and no matter what it is, people believe it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but I did hear a stat that said 80% of the homes that are going to be sold in 5 years are going to be by agents that don't even have their license yet.
Yep.
And that's because, I mean, a license lasts 4 years before you have to, do your CE and get it renewed.
Yep.
Most people drop out in 2.
Yep.
Right?
It's like 87. It might be closer to 90%. I remember the last time I saw that stat, it was 87% of people don't make it through their first 2 years in the business.
And I think it depends also on the market, right? I mean, we just are finishing up a big seller's market.
Yep.
So easy to make a commission
in
the seller's market.
The last 5 years, it's been very easy to be a real estate agent.
Oh, dude.
You know what I mean?
You just get your license and put a sign on
your yard. Get the listing, which is the tough part. But then if you can get the listing, you just put it on the market and it sells 10% over the last listing and multiple offers in the first weekend.
And you look like a genius.
And you look like a G.
And you get paid.
And you get paid off of it, right? That's not going to be the case coming into the next 2 or 3 years, though, because we're going to have to go through a market shift here. And that's when the cream rises to the top. So we'll see. I mean, even to a certain extent, this will be my first market correction and my 6th year in the business. Mm-hmm. And so even, at night with my wife, I'm like, well, am I that bad agent? What if I don't make it through this market correction? You know what I mean? But what remains to be seen. But I think the last 5 years has been very easy to be a real estate agent. So now we'll see who gets to hang out through this next couple of years.
Yeah, no, I mean, so what you're saying, if I'm hearing you right, is you actually have to have some skills coming up in the next few years.
100%.
Those 2 words, short sale,
yeah,
right? Those things are going to come back.
Yeah.
Price reductions.
Yeah.
You should be able to talk to a client and actually have an uncomfortable conversation with
100%.
them. You might have to negotiate your commission. You could be working with a client where they're going to make no money on the sale of the transaction, but you're still going to make a commission.
Yep.
Like, how do you explain that to somebody,
for
right?
Sure. 100%.
It's different than just, hey, yeah, your home is worth $500,000. Sure, we'll put it on the market and see what happens.
Yeah, let's take a shot. Let's take a shot and you get multiple offers first weekend, no matter what, with iPhone photos and whatever. Like you've been able to get away with that for the last 5 years. It's not going to be the case moving forward into 2019, 2020.
Dude, I 100% agree. Training is important. Yeah. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest things that we loved about when we started our podcast is we spent a lot of time at the beginning just doing nothing but sales training, going back to the basics. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we do on social media now because people have been telling us, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, right? And everybody, I think 2019 is one of those big video years. Everybody wants to do video. Everybody wants to do video, right?
Big time.
But the problem I see with that is to me, that's an easy button lead generation source. It's not a lead. I don't even want to call it lead generation. I think it supplements lead generation. Yeah. I don't think it's a main thing. I think still the core thing is picking up the phone, knocking on the doors, right? If you're not capable of doing that, I think you're going to suffer in the next couple years.
100%. Yeah. That's the meat and potatoes of the whole thing is picking up the phone and calling your people, calling your leads, calling your clients, whatever, getting in touch with them, whether it be through door knocking or holding client events or whatever, shaking hands, kissing babies, doing the meat and potatoes of all of it. That's going to go away. Now, if you have a different medium to generate some leads and let people see into your soul, like through vlogging, through video and stuff like that, even better. Right. But that's not the meat and potatoes. Picking up the phone, calling your leads, calling your clients, following up, dropping by, dropping off pies, whatever your thing is, you got to do it.
And we say it over and over again. Leads are worthless. Appointments have value, right?
I've generated more leads in the last 5 years than I know what to do with. And the thing is there was, especially early on, I was cherry picking the leads and stuff. And then I would follow up with some leads 3 months later, 4 months later, and they go, we already bought. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't following up enough. Exactly. That was probably stumbling out of the block early. Those were the L's I took early on.
Wait, did you hear that, listeners? He didn't follow up enough.
100%.
Can you ever really follow up enough is the question.
No,
right?
No, absolutely. Those were the L's I took early on, those learning experiences. Those were the L's I took as I wasn't following up. And then that's a very tough thing to stomach when you finally bolster up the whatever the clout to call somebody, and you call them up and they already bought with someone else.
Dude,
because you didn't
you
follow
deflate
up.
really quick.
Deflate really bad. Yeah.
I don't even want to pick up the phone, but dude, that's why you didn't get it, is because you didn't
because
pick up the
you
phone.
didn't pick up the phone. That's it. That is the key to this business. Don't, like, no matter what someone's gonna say, put your picture on your business card. That's the key to it. No. The key is pick up the fucking phone.
Follow up. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. So, you know, I was going through your Facebook feed, and I stumbled upon an interview you had where you were going back and forth with this agent about Zillow's instant offer program.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the things I got out of it was this guy was really upset because Zillow is practicing a business model that he felt was hurting agents. And you know, he was basically saying that the instant offer program is a facade, and it's a lie. It's a bait and switch, right? And I was kind of sitting back thinking, why are you pointing fingers at what somebody else is doing? Why aren't you like taking account
about
for
the debate thing I did with the guy from Arizona, the real estate guy, Stop Zillow guy.
Yes, the Stop Zillow guy, right?
I remember that. Okay, go ahead.
And so you know, my thing was that's one of those like. To me, that's like a 5-year-old argument, right? Yeah. Look what he did. Look what he did. Look what he did. Stop pointing at the other person and look in the mirror and kind of say, well, what am I doing to enhance my business, to grow myself as an individual, to be of service to other people,
100%.
Right? It had nothing to me. I mean, kudos to Zillow. They're out there trying to do what's good for them in the best interest of their business and their clients.
They're not a nonprofit, right?
Right?
They're putting in features to their company, their site, to get clients to come back to their site to sell more advertising space.
Exactly.
It's legitimately their entire business model.
Right.
They're not a nonprofit.
No,
of
and
course they're making a profit.
If you're an agent that's being offended by that because you're worried about where your business is going, you're wasting a lot of energy and time on the wrong thing.
You already lost.
Your mindset's in the wrong spot.
100%. You said you're into Gary Vee. I mean, Gary Vee will say that, you know, when you have something you feel offended, he'll just say, and? You know what I mean? And? So, like, what I should have done looking back is let this guy do his entire argument, say, Zillow's coming for our business, this, and just should have said, and? Like, and now what? Now what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? Are you going to cry about it? Are you going to go on national talk shows and cry about how Zillow's kind of trying to come and take your business? Or are you going to adapt and you're going to realize how you could use this for your benefit? You know what I mean? You're going to use this. I take the Zillow's estimate into every listing presentation I go into to say, hey, by the way, here's the Zillow's estimate. I want you to know this, not because it's an appraisal, but because your buyers are probably looking at this too. So here's how we're going to attack it to try to, you know, there's some things you can do to get that estimate up, or there's some things you can do. And using that in the listing presentation is using it to my advantage. Right. As opposed to the majority of other agents that I hear saying, well, Zillow's estimate, don't listen to that. You're telling your client not to do something that they're already doing. Learn how to adapt on that.
Or like
I'm just going to pop in here really quick because, like I said, I'm the dummy. That is gold right there. To use the Zillow's estimate as part of your pre-listing package,
100%.
That's gold.
Yeah. Because
that little tidbit.
160 million active users every month or whatever. Your clients are using Zillow.
It doesn't matter if they're right or wrong.
Correct.
People are looking.
Yeah, for sure. And be able to explain to them why that number is what it is and be able to differentiate between that and an appraisal, and then help them understand how to utilize it for their benefit. Don't just bitch about it.
Exactly. It's funny. I laugh at it, but too often, and you're going to see more and more and more of that as the market changes.
Yeah.
You know, I always, part of my coaching organization, what they said is, if Zillow's doing an instant offer program using specific number of investors, why don't you have an instant offer program?
100%. And now you might not have the tech background to build out the instant offer platform, but you know, you can align yourself. That's another funny thing because so Opendoor is really the company that started that. So Opendoor is the investor company that can give you an instant cash offer. They buy your house and then they flip it up and then they resell it. They're flippers. WeBuyUglyHomes.com. That's been around for a long time. Like that's been there for a long time.
It's nothing new.
Opendoor came around and they're still, you know, it's Southwest, so they're in like Arizona, Texas, stuff like that. They're the ones who are actually building this program to eliminate real estate agents. So their whole thing is they actually buy from you and then resell without the real estate agent. They're their own company. Yeah. Zillow saw the opportunity because people were using that service. They started instant offers. So where people can go there, they're like, we already have all the foot traffic or the web traffic. So you can go in there, you can get a free cash offer from one of their investors, and then they're going to relist the home with a Zillow Premier agent. So Zillow's actually incorporating us as real estate agents into their system if you're a Premier agent.
You're a Premier agent.
And then in 2018, Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams, Compass, every one of these brokerages is now starting their own iBuyer program.
Because it just makes sense. I mean, you're a real estate agent. You deal with investors all the time. You deal with
100%.
flippers all the time, right? They want pocket listings. There's people in that niche market that just need to get out of this property. They don't want to deal with all the tidbits of what it takes to actually buy and sell a home. They just, look, give me this price. I don't care if it's below market. Just get me paid and get me out.
That is 5 to 10% of the market. It's not even there yet. It's like 2 to 3%, but I could see about 5 to 10% of the market across the country eventually using some sort of program like that. Yeah. Redfin does it now too. It's called Redfin now.
It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. It's for someone who inherited a house in Miami and they live in Phoenix and they don't want to go out to Miami to sell that house. Exactly. They're just going to sell it. They'll take a 10% haircut on it just to get a wire transfer in their account in 7 days because they inherited Grammy's house and they don't want to go fix it up and sell it. That's who Zillow Instant Offers are. They're not there to take away your listing in the sense they may take some of your business because of that, but get better. And now what?
Exactly.
Right.
And besides, you're the real estate agent, right? It's your job to stay top of mind with people around you and their sphere of influence. If you're doing your job and they know you have different ways of doing business, there's no need for them to go look on Zillow.
100%.
There's no need for them to go to Redfin. They're just going to come to you and say, hey, what's my best option?
Yep.
And you can lay that out. I really like the fact that if you have built-in relationships with flippers and investors, when you come to your listing appointment, you're like, here's everything that's going on. Here's the market. By the way, if you just want to deal with this and get out, here's an offer right here, right now that you can accept.
Yep.
And, it's below market, but you choose the day you want to get out. You choose the day we want to fund. They'll help you move out. There's all the kinds of benefits. And most of the time, sellers are going to say, no, that's not for me.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, you're going to have somebody that says, you know what? That's a good idea. I don't even want to deal with this.
Yep.
I'll do that.
It's not going to take real estate agents out of business. If anything, it's going to eliminate wholesalers out of the business. And it's going to impact their business a little bit. But that's not my business. That's not. And what are they going to do? They're going to find something else to do.
Exactly.
And, you know what I mean? It's like it's the very low end of the real estate totem pole that is going to get affected by that type of thing. Everybody else is going to step their game up and provide value like they should be anyways to their clients. And if you can articulate out your value, your unique selling proposition and why working with you is better than going to Zillow Instant Offers, you'll always have a place in this world.
100%.
If you can't, you're dead. You're done anyways. Just hang them up now. Just get out, right? If you can't articulate your value for 5% or 6% over someone else for 4% or Instant Offers, you're done already.
But nitty gritty, dude, that's sales.
Yep.
That's what sales is.
100%. That's
right?
always been what sales is.
It doesn't matter if it's a real estate agent. Doesn't matter if it's an insurance agent. Doesn't matter if you're selling Cutco knives.
That's it.
Right? It's just providing value, and you need to be able to articulate that value, or you're not in sales.
There's we like to say in the office, everybody knows 4 to 5 real estate agents, like in your sphere. Just think about your high school and like people on your Facebook. You probably know between 3 and 5 Facebook or real estate agents. So when they're ready to sell, why are they going to call you? Like what's going to make them call you? What's your unique sales proposition that's going to get them to call you? That's just been sales for all of time, though.
I'll tell you what it is. It's an F word.
Yeah, exactly.
Follow up.
Yeah, follow up. Pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone. That's a PH word, but close.
Yeah, exactly. Follow up.
But really, that's what it comes down to, right? 100%. I mean, it's your job to stay top of mind. It really bugs me when I talk to an agent. They're like, "Oh yeah, he told me he's gonna call me when he's ready." No, he's not.
Yep.
No, he's not.
No, you're only as good until they go onto Zillow and then they see someone else. You know what I mean? You got to stay top of mind.
You have to stay top of mind.
Yep.
Dude, I mean, one of the best people who does that is Gary Vee, and you're gonna be talking at an event coming up.
Yeah.
Tell me, dude, first of all, how the hell do you get on stage, right? And get in front of people? Because that's one of those things that I was telling James over here that I wanted to start doing. It's a little more public speaking, a little more training, because I'm part of a coaching organization, right? So I want to be able to get in front of more people. Yeah. But your stage is grand.
Yeah.
So you got to tell me how you got. I mean, I understand everything's progression. Do a little bit at a time.
It's progression, yeah. So it's years in the making. So with Agent 21 or 2021 specifically, and so for anybody that doesn't know, Gary Vee hosts an annual conference. This is his second year down in Miami. It's a one-day conference. Tickets are $1,000. Like it's no bullshit. Like you got to get in, and it's very tactical too, as opposed to the bigger Inmans and stuff, which they'll have the CEO of Redfin come on and talk about Redfin. Gary's is going to be like, this is how you run an Instagram swipe up ad to your farm. You know what I mean? It's very tactical, which is exactly what I like. And so with that, basically last year when he ran the conference, I actually submitted. So, I mean, I went and got it. So I submitted it. I'm like, hey, I would love to speak. Here's a couple things I think I could weigh in on. Didn't hear back. Didn't hear one word because they had a lineup already by the time I wrote in. Agent 2021 for 2018 comes out. I did the same thing. I wrote in. I was like, hey, I would love to speak. About a month later, they finally got back to me and said, hey, we might have a spot on this panel for you. Please submit 2 examples of you speaking on stage before. So now this is where you have to go back, because
now you have to have
2017,
experience.
I spoke on stage at Inman Connect in San Francisco. And then 2016, I spoke on stage at a Zillow Premier Agent Forum here in San Diego. So I recorded those. So I had both the images or both the videos of those 2 speaking stages. So I was able to submit those in. Getting on stage at Inman wasn't easy. I had to be a writer for them for 2 years before. So you're talking years of stuff that like parlayed into having even the cachet to get into the Agent Gary,
to
Gary
just be
V's.
considered.
Correct. And then so they took a look at the 2 videos. They said, hey, here's the panels about Instagram, using Instagram for your business. Then I assume they checked out my Instagram, which is also 5 years of content on Instagram, 12,000 followers or whatever. It's all vanity numbers, but good engagement. And so they can see that it's not fake. You're like, okay, this guy knows what the hell he's talking about.
Do you actually respond when people comment?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm in there commenting for 5 years on every post that I do. And so they're able to see that and say, okay, not only has he have an extremely good track record, a very great following on Instagram, he's got speaking engagements and speaking stage stuff, we can go ahead and put this guy on the panel. Yeah, but none of this happens if I didn't reach out to them.
Right.
If I didn't go get it.
I mean, not just that, if you weren't legit.
True.
Because first of all, I mean, you can have 12,000 followers on Instagram,
right,
but you like every comment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not responsive.
Yeah.
You're not talking to them. You just have, fancy pictures and nice sayings, right? It's not
or it's all bot. You run into that a lot. Like, I mean, there's a lot of it, of even agent accounts and stuff like that have like, 100,000 followers, but then they have like 100 likes on their thing, or they have no comments. It's like, well, that's not real engagement. They probably bought the followers.
And that's
so
the biggest thing.
There's an engagement. There's a genuineness involved in all of that. And also it's that extra step that you took to actually take action and say, hey, I want to be a part of this. And not just once, but twice. You're following up again.
Because I know it was a goal of mine, because I look up to Gary Vee just like you do. I've been ingesting his content like a sponge for 5 years. And so like this has always been on, like, once I saw that he had a real estate related conference, I knew I wanted to be up there.
Yeah.
And so that's something that it was on my goal board. So I did what I had to do. I emailed out the speakers, and I didn't give up when they didn't call me back last year. I did it again. Same thing with Inman. To get on the stage at Inman, I had to reach out and submit a speaker form. And then, by the fact that I was writing for them for the last 2 years, that's why I was able to get on the stage there. So it's progression, man. But then you also have to go get it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Our coaching organization, the Tim and Julie Harris, I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
I've heard of them. They do Inman. They were on Inman featured, like their coaching podcast or something was featured on there.
Yeah, they're a huge coaching program.
Yeah.
And so that I'm a certified coach through their program.
Oh, cool.
And so, they're always talking about how Inman has been really good at trying to stay off the bias, just straight facts.
They try.
Right?
Yeah,
they try, yeah.
They try, yeah.
And so, it's kind of cool to hear that, you were writing for them. I mean, that's again, dude, these are little tidbits of information that people don't know. They're going to see that you're going to be speaking at the 2021 event.
Yeah.
But understanding what it took to get there is huge,
and there's another layer to it, because there's a lot of time spent throughout my now 5 years or whatever, it's 5.5 years of career of writing blogs for Inman. That's not a money-making activity right away. I wasn't getting deals off of writing, but I knew that long-term, part of what I wanted to do is be seen as an industry influencer by year 10, 12, 15, something like that. I wanted to
You're
be
playing
seen
the long game.
Correct. And so there's a lot of, but you don't do that at the expense of your deals too. So that you just have to work twice as hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to work, Gary always says you have your extra hustle, your late night hustle from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's your late night hustle. That's a lot of late nights, staying up past midnight, writing blogs, or, doing this type of stuff. Editing content.
Right.
We talked about this. I have a vlog going now, but in 2017, episodes 1 through 10, I was just doing it myself through iMovie and stuff like that. That's a lot of late nights that led to get to where this is.
Well, I mean, dude, talking to you has made me feel a lot better, because I've only been I've only gotten introduced to Gary Vee, I'd say in the last, it had to be last year. It's not very long that I got introduced to him, but it really it hit home for me, because a lot of the ways I think it just clicked. Like a lot of things I do is not even monetary returns. It's attention returns. Right. And every time I learn a new technique, like, I was listening to Gary and Tim and Julie, both of them said, what you should do is start a podcast. Just start it out there. And so I did, not really knowing why I was starting a podcast. It's not until, 6 months later that I'm like, oh, every time I talk to somebody, it's 30 minutes of content that I can break up into 10, 20, 30 second pieces that I can put out. That's, every time I talk to somebody, I'm reaching out to, all these things that you learn as you go along, right? now when people see or hear our podcast or see our content, they see it as a much bigger progress than what it is, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the pedestal gets put a little higher than I feel like I'm nobody sometimes in the grand scheme of things.
Yep.
But the image that we portray and the information that we put out that is genuine and valuable because of little snippets of pieces. Like today, I can sit back and say, oh, dude, I'm going to really have to go through these 30 minutes with Jason Cassity because there's pearls of wisdom just raining on every single minute in this stuff, right? Wisdom. I mean, that's what they are, right? Yeah. Or diamonds of wisdom. Yeah. I like to use diamonds because they just
I said gold.
Yeah.
Gold.
There we go.
But understanding that every little piece adds up. Yeah. Right? And you have to do every little piece. You have to go and grind every little bit of the way.
There is no get rich quick scheme in this business.
What do we say? If you want to get rich quick,
get rich slow.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the way it works,
there
right?
Is no get rich quick scheme.
Aside from winning the lotto.
Unless you win the lotto and then you can drop $1 million into Zillow and get clients for today. You know what I mean? There's no get rich quick scheme. That's the thing. You could even if you have money and you buy leads out, that's not the long-term game. Like that'll
you're buying leads.
Exactly.
Leads mean nothing. Exactly. They're worthless. Yep. You paid a lot of money for something you could have got for free.
Yep. Right? Exactly.
No, dude, it's amazing. So do you have any idea what you're going to talk about?
Yeah. So it's a panel with speech. So we just did our prep call the other day, actually. So there's 4 of us on there. The whole entire thing is talking about using Instagram to build business through influencers. Mm-hmm. And so what I think they liked about what I did was I actually have some kind of tactical stuff where I did some stuff with the broke agent, whose Instagram account, he's like a meme account, but he has like over 100,000 followers. Mm-hmm. Real estate, almost exclusively real estate agents that follow him because it's always like meme stuff about real estate business. Yeah. And so what I did humor works, and so, you get a sneak peek of what we're talking about. But basically with him, I reached out to him and I'm like, hey man, like, I love what you do, How can I provide value to you? And then I ended up buying a bunch of his T-shirts from his shop because he has a shop. Mm-hmm. And I did a giveaway in return for a shout out on his Instagram. And that day alone that I was doing the giveaway, I had over 700 new followers. Woo. And so that was a little bit of an insight about using an influencer in the real estate space to grow my following. But then what I did with those 700 followers is I DM'd every one of them that night. And I was like, hey, Mark in Boise or whatever it was. Like, hey, it's Jason. Thanks for following me. If you ever need anything in San Diego, I'm here for you. If I can provide you value, let me know. And of those 700, 250 or whatever the number was, wrote back to me, and I created a conversation, and I saved all of them because everybody has real estate Instagram business accounts. I saved all of them in my CRM, and then now I've got all their contact information. So now I know 3 people in New York, 2 people in Miami, 2 people, you know what I mean? But guess what? They all know me in San Diego. Right. And so, you know what I mean? If I have referrals out, I could choose, all right, I've got 3 people in Chicago. Let's see who I should send this one to. But if they're thinking to San Diego and no one else is doing this, they're only going to think about me.
Listeners, did you hear that? Because I just learned another diamond just dropped in. Okay, look, I have been DMing every single person that follows, right? Yep. What I haven't been doing is getting their contact information. Correct. That is genius, right? Because your lead follow-up, this is your follow-up. This is one of those things that, like, it blows my mind. Not every conversation is a transactional conversation. No. Not every follow-up call is a transactional follow-up call.
Pretty rarely is it a transactional conversation.
Rarely, right? Actually. It's mostly we're getting to know each other. I think you're cool. Hey, man, I'm just following up, seeing how you're doing. I mean, it's actual, friendship communication.
Correct.
Right?
And it's real. It's not faking it. I just need to talk to more people. But when I'm talking to them, I'm actually curious about their city and about what they're doing. And this is and this. It's a real conversation. It's just I'm doing it in mass. Right. You know what I mean? I'm talking to that many. In 2018, I switched my Instagram just a little bit to focus on making more realtor partners because I saw the ability to make to get referrals to San Diego. A lot of people move to San Diego, military, stuff like that. And so I started putting out more Instagram or more real estate related content as opposed to for clients. So I still do that too, but I also put out some real estate agent type content where I talk about macro level stuff like Redfin and Zillow and stuff like that to engage the real estate agents across the country that I have a relationship with because I want them to think of me when they have a need in San Diego. I just lost the feed. Just lost the video feed. There we go. I switched to that. So by doing something with the broke agent who has 100,000 followers, almost exclusively real estate agents, that was a big move for me.
Dude, that's huge. Yep. Well, guess what? You're my big move right now.
Yeah, there you go. Boom. That's it.
No, dude. I mean, again, man. Thanks. How are we doing on
29.
time? Okay, cool. That's what I figured.
Good.
Dude, thanks for being on the podcast, dude.
Absolutely.
I mean, it totally means a lot for you to like come on our show for us. I mean, just to be able to have that conversation and minds click like, good, I'm on the right track. You're helping me personally. At the same time, you know, I think the fact that you're helping me personally means you're helping other people that are going to listen to this podcast. I'm going to chop it up. I'm sure you're going to chop it up. And it's, again, diamonds of wisdom being dropped all over this 30-minute segment. Absolutely. We need to do it again. Because I feel like
after the Gary V talk, we definitely want to link up and
I'll give you behind the
feedback.
scenes what happened back there. And
exactly.
All right,
exactly.
I'm down.
All right, cool.
I'm taking my videographer out there. Actually,
when is that event?
We're going to vlog that. We're going to vlog that whole trip out too.
Jose?
Yeah. No, different guy. My videographer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan.
Perfect.
Yeah. So it'll be good though. It'll be good. 2 days of content. So
heck yeah. When is that event?
Next week. It's next Thursday.
17th, right?
Thursday the 17th. Yeah.
Thursday the 17th.
We fly out on Wednesday. There's a welcome reception on Wednesday night, and then Thursday's the day.
Is there going to be streamed anywhere?
No.
No? Okay. This is going to be all in there, but you're going to have a videographer. Is it going to be on your Instagram afterwards?
Yep. It'll be on IG and Facebook.
Everybody there is going to be posting it on their stuff.
Everywhere.
I don't think you'll have a problem finding it.
Yeah, I will be tuning in on the 17th. Well, 15, 16, 17 to what's going on your Instagram feed for sure.
Yeah, you'll see the little bit behind the scenes for sure.
So let me give you the last couple minutes here. Plug everything you need to. I mean, you're going to have people who want to know what's going on too, right?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, everybody can follow me on Instagram. It's my name. It's Jason_Cassity, Cassity.
Pointing down because it's on the screen.
There you go. Point down right there. And you can follow me on Instagram. Just hit me in the DM. Tell me you saw me on the Business Bros podcast. I would love that. And then I'll just be able to reach back out to you, connect. And then, that's about it. I mean, we have a team of 6 here in downtown San Diego. We work all over the coast and Metro San Diego. So if you have any real estate needs, I'd love to help you out. But for the most part, I just want to connect and meet people. So, just follow me down on Instagram. I see you right there. The IG, Jason_Cassity. And that's my cell phone number on there, too. So you can give me a call or whatever. Shoot me a text. Say what's up.
Fantastic. Hey, man, thank you so much for being on the show, for letting us come out here and talk with you for a little while. Really loved it. Learned a lot of golden nuggets that you put out for everybody.
Oh, dude, perfect. Yeah, he goes gold, I go diamond.
There we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever need anything, Hernan at csfirst.com, James at csfirst.com, or follow us on our social media feeds at Business Bros Pod. That's all we got for you guys today. Thanks again, Jason.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Peace.
All right. Bye-bye.
Peace. And I'm out. Dude. Whew, I'm telling you, I learned so much, dude.
Good job, guys.
Bravo.
Loved it. Good content.
Dude. Thank you.
That was fan-friggin-tastic, man. Thank you. You know, it was actually really cool. So this Sling Studio is actually a little bit new to us. What did we get it 2 weeks ago, maybe?
Yeah.
So that wasn't live, but we got to
that wasn't live, but it was recorded.
Yeah.
It'll be on our YouTube. We can send it to you if you want to.
I'll send you the raw file.
Perfect.
And then you can chop it up, do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
So you have the video file. I'll send you the video file, the audio file. They're big files, so they'll go as like links.
Yeah.
Like Google Drive. Yeah.
Yep.
But